Okay, hi everybody, we're back again with a new lesson. Okay, we were talking last time about the freezing and the temperature of freezing exactly, and I told you the water is start to freeze at which degrees, 0 Celsius degree or 32 Fahrenheit degrees. So today we will complete talking about the water and the state of water, how it changed from solid now to liquid, or how it's now, because it's gain energy, what will happen to the solid state of water, what will happen exactly to the solid state of water if it's gain what more energy. So just add it, it's the our lesson today, page 370. Okay, if you are now please with me, please open your book, page 370. So just add heat, it's mean that something help the solid water to what? To change to a droplets of water or to liquid water. Because what? Because the heat itself. Okay guys, the heat will change the solid state of water to what? To liquid. Okay, heat. Water is liquid between the temperature 0 to and 100 Celsius degree. So 0 Celsius degree and 100 Celsius degree. Before we start, I would like to tell you something guys. Did you remember what I told you that the water start to freeze at which degree? 0, right? So this is the beginning of water to freeze, and this is also the beginning for the water to what? To melt also. Okay guys, so if the water in solid state 0, it's mean what? It's the solid start to what? To melt. But what about if the water at also 0 as a liquid? So it's also start to what? To freeze. So if you keep the water, the liquid water inside the freezer, what will happen exactly? When the water, liquid water, reach to 0 Celsius degree, start what? To freeze. Okay, but what about if you keep a cube of ice in a warm place? What will happen to the cube of ice? When the cube of ice reach to also 0 Celsius degree, start to what? To melt. I will explain it more by writing the information in external paper in case of what? To understand what I mean. Okay, I will write it here. Okay, no, not here, I think. Oh, no, here it is. Okay, so okay, and I start to use the bold one. Okay, the water start to freeze at which degrees, guys? At which degree? Try to remember. The water start to freeze at what? 0 Celsius degrees. Okay, what about, and the water, this is the what? This is the water, the liquid water. That's what I mean. I will write here the liquid water in case to understand it well. Okay, the liquid. Okay, the liquid water start to freeze at 0 Celsius degrees. And what now about the solid water? And the solid water, the solid water start to what? Start to, the solid water start to melt at which degree, guys? At which degree? Also 0 Celsius. Okay guys, that's what I mean. Okay, so for that reason, the solid water start to freeze at 0 Celsius degree, and solid water start to melt also at 0 Celsius degree. Why guys? Because if you keep a warm water or a cup of a warm water inside the freezer, what will happen to the warm water? The warm water start to lose the energy from its particles. Okay, and then the water start to change to solid. So when the water start to change to solid or start to freeze, this is the temperature exactly where the water start to freeze at 0 Celsius degrees. So for that reason we say that the water start to freeze at 0 Celsius degrees. What about the solid now? If you take some cubes of ice from the freezer and you keep it outside in a warm room, okay, what will happen to the solid water, or the cube, or the pieces of ice, or the cubes of ice? What will happen to them exactly? The cubes of ice is starting to what? To melt, but at which degree also? starting to melt at 0 Celsius degree as well. Okay guys, this is what I mean, in case you understand well what I mean. Okay guys, so water is always liquid between the temperature of 0 and 100 Celsius degree. More than 100 Celsius degree, what will happen to the liquid water, guys? More than 100 Celsius degree, what will happen to the liquid of water? The water start to evaporate. By the way, did you remember the water cycle lesson that we took it already in the first semester? I told you the water cycle is starting by what? By the sun energy, right guys? The sun energy will change the surface of the ocean to what exactly? To gas, okay, to water vapor gas. So at which degree, guys, the liquid waters will change to gas? Now I will explain everything about the changing of liquid to gas, but anyway, from 0 to 100 is the water still liquid, but here is too hot. By the way, 100 is the water is boiling, I think, but or it's at least it's hot. The water should be hot in this temperature. That's what I mean. Okay, but between 0 and 100, the water is still what? Liquid. 0 is what? Is too cold, and 100 is too hot. That's what I mean. Okay guys, but the water is still in the state of what? Of liquid. Okay, so between 0 and 100 the water is still liquid, but 0 is too cold and 100 is too hot. Okay, what about 50? If the water in what? If the water at 50 Celsius degree, it's mean the water is warm. Okay guys, 0 is too cold, 50 is warm, and 100 is what? Is hot. Okay, let's go. If the sun heats the Iceman here, what will happen to the Iceman? The Iceman will begin to melt, right guys? Because what? Because the Iceman here, or the particles of the ice here, starting to absorb energy from the sunlight. For that reason the Iceman start to melt. Okay guys, for that reason that I give you example about this Iceman, because the Iceman is what? Is considered as what? Example of what? Solid state of what? Of water. Solid state of water, it start to melt when what? When absorb enough energy from the sun. Okay, so what's happened to an ice cube after you take it from the freezer? So I told you, when you take a piece of ice from a freezer and you keep it outside in a warm place, what will happen to the ice or the pieces of ice exactly? What will happen, guys? Try to answer the question by yourself before I give you the answer. Okay guys, try to answer it by yourself before I give you the answer. What will happen to the cube ice of water before or after I take it from the freezer? It's warm. Okay, as it warms, it begins to what? To melt. So for that reason the ice will absorb enough energy from the warm places, and for that reason it's begin what? To melt. Okay, for that reason the ice will start to melt. Okay, the ice start to melt here in which degree? So now the temperature of this ice exactly at which degree exactly? In Celsius degree. That's what I mean. Is what exactly? 0. So the cube of ice start to melt at 0 Celsius degree. Okay guys, anyway, as it warms, it begins to what? To melt. Okay, now the definition of melt is what exactly? The melting is the change of what? Is the change of state from what? Solid to liquid. At which degree, guys? I told you at 0 Celsius degree or 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, at 0 Celsius degrees or 32 Fahrenheit. So melting is a change from solid to liquid, solid to liquid. And the ice or the solid state of water start to melt or begin to melt at which degree, guys? 0 Celsius degree or 32 Fahrenheit. Okay, so melting is opposite of freezing, sure, Okay, now here. Now what about heating the water? Now, if you prepare a cup of tea, so sure you will start to heat what? The water or the liquid water. So you will heat the liquid of water by what? By using the kettle or something like this. So if you heat the water, so what will happen exactly on the stove? What will happen exactly? The temperature of the water increase until it reaches what? 100 Celsius degree. So the 100 Celsius degree is the starting of water to what? To boil and to change to gas. Is starting only. This is the beginning of water to change to what? To gas. Okay, so at 100 Celsius degree or 212 Fahrenheit, the water starting to change or beginning to change to what? To gas. Okay guys, so the liquid will change to gas in at which degree guys exactly? 100 Celsius degree or 212 Fahrenheit. That's what I mean. Okay guys, to remember that. Okay, the water starts to boil and to change from liquid to gas as at which degree exactly? 100 Celsius degree or in Fahrenheit scale 212. Okay, the water will start to change, or it's the beginning of water to change from liquid to gas. Okay, so water boils or change rapidly to gas called what? Water vapor. Okay, so water, when the water start to boil, so it will change from liquid to what? To gas, and we call the gas that's coming from the water exactly what? Water vapor. So the particles start to move faster here because what? This is the particles of what? Of gas. So the particles of gas spread out in what? In air, because what? Because this is now the particles of water now considered as a particles of gas. Okay guys, so you can't see water vapor because it's what? Invisible. And because what? Why? Because the water vapor is invisible. Because why guys? Because the water vapor is example of gases. You can see the oxygen or nitrogen. You can't see it in the air because our air or our atmosphere or the air that you breathe it always is a combination of so many kind of gases. One of them are what? The water vapor, and one of them also is what? Oxygen or nitrogen or carbon dioxide. All of them are what? Elements that you can find it where? In the mixture of the gases that you breathe. For that reason, all of these elements like oxygen or nitrogen or water vapor are visible or invisible. Sure, all of them are what? Invisible. Okay guys, so here in this image only I summarize the definitions of what? Of the state of matter from solid to liquid to gas. See here, solid, liquid, gas. So from solid to liquid is what? Is melting. See, from solid to liquid is melting. From liquid to gas is what exactly? Evaporation. We call this process exactly what guys? Evaporation or vaporization. Okay guys, so evaporation, okay, the liquid, the change of state of liquid to gas state is what? Evaporation. Okay, what about freezing now? I revising with you only the definition that we studied in the previous lessons. Okay guys, I will not talking about the condensation because it's still early to talk about this definition. Okay, so what about now the liquid? It will change to solid, so there is a freezing. If you keep a warm cup of water inside the freezer, what will happen to the warm cup of water? Start to freeze, right guys? It start to freeze at which degree guys? 0. The liquid water start to freeze at which degree? 0 Celsius degree or 32 degrees Fahrenheit. So the water starting to freeze and it changed to solid at what? 0 Celsius degree. Okay guys, now I will solve with you the activity in the book before we start solving the classwork. Okay guys, so just add heat. So if you are now, please be with me, open your book, page 370. We mention everything here. See, but just I will give you example is related to our lesson. So if the sun heats this ice sculpture so enough, it will what? It will begin to what? To melt. So this is an example of the same example of what? Of the Iceman. Okay, when this image start to what? To absorb enough energy from the sun, what will happen to the sculpture? So exactly, it's starting to what? To melt. Okay. Okay, here only matching between the temperatures and the images here. Okay guys, the garden hose. Okay guys, example of what? If you don't know what does mean of garden hose, guys, I will try to what exactly? I will try to find it here in case to understand the garden hose. Okay, garden hose, this one. They give you example, the water that coming from the garden hose is example of what, guys? Of example of liquid water. So the temperature of the liquid that coming from the garden hose is what exactly? The temperature, it should be at which degree here? We should select which one of them. So sure, this one. So you have to match them, guys. Okay, so 20 Celsius degree is related to the garden hose. Okay guys, what about the ice cube? The ice cube start to melt at which degree? I told you from 0 and less than 0. So we have to match the ice cube with this one. Okay, because now see the temperature is what? At 0 Celsius degree. At what? 0 Celsius degree, or what? 32 or 32 what? Fahrenheit. 32 degrees Fahrenheit. 0 Celsius degree or 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay. What about the boiling water, guys? The boiling water always take a temperature of what exactly? 100 or more than 100. Okay guys, this is the boiling water, and when the water start to evaporate at what? At what degree exactly? 100 Celsius degree. So you have to match this one with this one. Okay guys, you have to match them. Okay, so I will write here, or I will write them in case to understand them. Okay, so this one, 0 is the ice cube here, is the example of ice cube, is related to the 0 Celsius degree. What about now this one? 100 Celsius degree is related to the boiling water, is example of what? Boiling water. Sorry. What about now the last one is 20 Celsius degrees is related to what? Example of the liquid water. Liquid water or garden hose. I think now we understand everything. Now let's go and solve with you the booklet page. Let me see. Okay, page 45. Page 45. Please open your book now. Page 45. Okay, question number 1. Draw the 3 states of water and write the temperature of each state. So for that reason you have to draw this 3 states of water. Okay guys, the gas, liquid, solid. So if we are going to write or to draw the particles of gases, is difficult a little bit. So try to draw example of gases that you can find it where exactly. In the balloon, for example. So you have to draw a balloon. It's much better if you draw a balloon. That's what I mean. So balloon is example of, because the balloon, the gases inside the balloon are what is are mixture of what of gases like what? Water vapor, carbon dioxide, oxygen, all of them, that gases that you can find it where exactly inside the balloon. So you can, if you want, you can draw a balloon here. So what about the temperature of the balloon exactly, or the gases inside the balloon is about what exactly? Or much better than writing the gases, or okay, or writing the temperature of gases, sometimes it take what normal temperature between what exactly? You have to write the temperature between what exactly? Temperature of gases is starting from what? Okay, the particles of gas starting of what? The particles of gas. Okay, exactly, I mean the water. The three, because they're asking you about the water. So the particles of gas more than the 100 or more than 100. Okay guys, because they're asking you about water vapor. Water vapor is hot, okay, is hot gas. For that reason, the water vapor is a hot gas. So for that reason, we should write here what exactly? 100 Celsius degree. Okay, is 100 Celsius degree. The water vapor is starting from what? 100 Celsius degree. What about the liquid now? The liquid, you have to write to draw something like a cup of water here, and then you have to write what exactly? The liquid water is between exactly 10 Celsius degree or 20, even 30, it's also correct. Okay, so you have to write here from 0 to 100 still liquid. Okay guys, from 0 to 100 the water still what? Liquid. What about solid? Below 0, you have to write here below 0 Celsius, below 0 Celsius degree, the water start to be solid. Okay, 0 and down, it's mean what? The water here should be what? Frozen, okay, or in a solid state. That's what I mean. So if you can try to draw here ice cubes, and then after you draw the ice cubes here, try to write here down from 0 and below 0 Celsius degree, or you have to write here below 0 Celsius degree. This is the solid. What about the liquid? Between 100 and 0, between 0 and 100 Celsius degree, this is the liquid. What about the gases? More than 100, so you have to write here more than 100 here. The gas, okay, the example of gas, water, is like water vapor, more than 100 Celsius degree. Here in the middle, you have to draw a cup of water, liquid water, and write between 0 and 100. And here, what is a solid state of water? Frozen water, below 0. Okay guys, below 0 Celsius degree. Okay, I think we understand this example. Question number 2. If you heat water, the temperature of water start to what? To decrease or increase or the same? If you heat the water, what will happen to the temperature exactly? Decrease. Okay, it's starting to what? Increase. Okay guys, so we select letter B. Okay guys, letter B is mean what? When you heat the water start to boil. For that reason, the temperature of the water start to what? To increase. Okay guys. Okay, when water boils, it's changed to gas. When the water boils, it's changed to what exactly? To gas. So it's called what exactly? The gas of water. The gas state of water is what exactly? Is what exactly? Water vapor or liquid water or ice? Sure, is what? Water vapor. Water vapor is example of what? Of gas. Water vapor is the gas state of water. That's what I mean. Water boils at which degree of them here? 212 Celsius degree. So if they write here Fahrenheit, it will be correct, but 212 Celsius degree is wrong, so you have to write 100 Celsius degree. This is the correct answer. Okay guys, 100 Celsius degree is this water where begin to what? To change to what? To water vapor, or start to boil, where the water start to boil at which degree exactly? 100 Celsius degree. Okay, what about now the melting? The melting is opposite of what exactly guys? The melting state is opposite of what? Of freezing, boiling, or evaporation? Evaporation, I told you, is the process of change of liquid to gas. Okay guys, what about now the melting? Melting is opposite of what? Freezing. Okay, question number 3. Water is a liquid between the temperature of what and what? Okay guys, try to remember. Water is liquid between which temperature exactly, guys? Did you remember? We mentioned them many times. Okay guys, okay, sorry. 0 and what? And 100. 0 and what? 100. Okay, 0 and 100. Okay, number 2, if the sun heats the ice enough, it will be gained to what exactly? If the sun heats the ice enough, like the Iceman, the example of the Iceman. So what will happen, guys? If the sun heats the ice enough, it will be gained to what exactly? To evaporate, okay guys, or to melt. If the sun heats the ice enough, it will be gained to what? To melt, okay guys? It's began to melt. Okay, what about if you heat the water or start to boil the water in the oven? What will happen exactly to the water? The water increase the temperature of water. Okay guys, so the temperature of water increases. When water boils, it's changed to gas called what exactly? When the water boils, it will reach to 100 Celsius degrees, okay, and start to boil. So it will change from liquid to what? To gas. What we call the gas here? Water vapor. Water vapor. So the last one, I think we have to solve it here is, let me go down a little bit, okay. Water boils at what degree exactly, guys? 100. I told you many times, 100 Celsius degree. This is the starting of water to boil and to change to gas, by the way. Melting is the opposite of what? Melting is opposite of what? Of freezing. Okay, thank you so much and goodbye.